Yellow Jackets. And I had been so sure that I didn't have any Yellow Jackets anymore. And it was regular hornets. There was a small nest of regular hornets, and I pounded that hard enough that I pissed them off. So my finger swelled up, but then it went down, because it was just a regular hornet. And that might have been what stung me the very first time too, like a week earlier. I think that's what stung me the first time too. So I had thought I got stung by a yellow jacket the week earlier before I ordered my stuff, and that didn't. And I thought, oh, it was a glancing blow. No, it was just a regular hornet. I didn't know it was there. I thought I got hit by a yellow jacket. I didn't. So I never got stung by yellow jackets. And so I knocked that nest out, and I was running out of poison when I did it, because I thought I had left over from the yellow jackets. And I knocked it down, and I buried the nest. I put the nest so that anything in there wouldn't come out, because I kind of was running out of poison that was in that container. And then, okay, so that was done, and they abandoned that area. So I got 2 nests killed now. Well, then I found another nest of yellow jackets, of real yellow jackets, and it was above the arch on the lower level of the tower, which is a little further away from the stair, but it's really not that far. So you got 2 nests, and I just watched a video of someone that had 3 nests in one area, and they were big. And one of them was in an umbrella, like where you have cooking and stuff on your deck, and you have the umbrella for where you're eating on your table. And it's like, geez, if he would have sent his wife out to open, or kid, I've got the steaks, raise the umbrella. Somebody would have got it. Who would have guessed that there's yellow jackets in that? It was folded up and they were inside. And they're not good. You don't want to piss them off. And they piss off real easy. So he had to kill those, I don't think anything, he knew it was there, but it was bad. They're called aerial yellow jackets. There's ground yellow jackets, and there's aerial. They're both bad. The venom in them is the same. And they're from Germany or something like that. I don't even think they're native to here. So now I had to give, in this other nest you couldn't see, but you could see where they were going in and out. And they were living between the rafters, on the tower, on the floor of the tower, or, on the edge where the wall is. There's probably an empty spot there. I'm going to have to fill that up. And so I filled the tank again, made another batch of poison, and I went out at night, put the bee suit on again, and I gave that. I waited for it to get dark, and I hit that again. And then I stepped on one, or a couple, and you're not supposed to do that. Don't step on yellow jackets. That chased me. I even got on the bike, went down the road one way on 16th, and it was still chasing me. And then I came back, and I think I might have come back in and tried to go in the car. It chased me into the car, to the van. And then I got out of the van. I realized, shit, you probably shouldn't have got in the van. And so I got out of the van. I had barely got in, but got out of the van, and I got back on the bike, and they were still following me. And I went back on the bike, and I went the other way. I went towards the Jeep, and they were still on me. I could hear them. And it wasn't the sound going through the suit, because I would stop and I could hear it. I could still hear it. And it was dark out. You know, dark out. You're really not supposed to be on a bike when it's dark out. Dark out, and I didn't have a light or anything, but I was trying to shake these yellow jackets. I think there was more than one. And I had to go all the way down past where I get my duck eggs, which is where the white fence is, to shake them. I had to go that far to shake these things. And I was pedaling on my bike. So don't mess around with them, because they would have stung me if I wouldn't have had a suit on. They mean business, and if it would have been, and it might have been more than one of them, because I could hear them. They were chasing me. They were following me. And I came in, and I got to G, and they were gone. I shook them. But dang, that's creepy. They're nothing to mess with. If you have one of these nests, don't mess around with it, because you could get stung. If you just get one, you probably could, if you're not allergic, you'd be okay. But if you get nailed by more than one, or you get multiple stings, you could be in trouble. Even if you're not allergic, if you get enough stings, they're pretty venomous. They may be small, but they pack a pretty bad punch. A regular hornet has like a real thin waist, and it's kind of like a real narrow waist, and it has a very marked, smooth abdomen. Whereas a yellow jacket, they're more consolidated, more compact. They look a little bit like a bee, but the difference between a yellow jacket and a bee is bee look like they have fur on them, or hairs. Yellow jackets and hornets do not have any kind of fuzzy stuff on them. There's no hairs on them or anything. They don't look like they're all fluffy. They're smooth. So yellow jackets and hornets are smooth. They have smooth bodies. And bees can only sting one time. Whereas hornets and yellow jackets, and I might have gotten stung 3 times by the same one, because one of the stings was right next to, there were 2 stings right next to each other on my finger. You could see them. You could see the holes. They don't leave a stinger in you, but a honeybee will. And if a honeybee stings you, I think it kills the bee. I think when they lose that stinger, they lose their life. Whereas a hornet, you know, they can sting you multiple times. They can sting you as many times as they can physically, you know, do it. So, you know, those yellow jackets can sting you more than one time. So that's kind of creepy that they can follow you that long. And I went in and I looked it up online, and they can chase you for up to a mile. And it didn't specifically, it says, we don't know about bikes, because I asked, can this thing chase you on a bike for a mile? And they said, we don't know about bikes. They didn't have any data on bikes, but they said, yes, they can chase you for a mile, or for up to a mile. And you can only run, you can't really run very fast, so if you have no bee suit on, and you like do something to one of these nests to piss them off, you're gonna get hit, and it's not gonna be nice. So you don't want to mess with them. Regular hornets, the nests are smaller. I mean, the bulb-faced hornets have big nests too. I've never been stung by one of those. They're black and white, and they're bigger. I have killed those without a bee suit, and they didn't seem to be as, I mean, now I've got a bee suit. I spent the money,